Idziemy do Szkocji. A droga wiedzie przez Glasgow. Dlaczego te wszystkie spore marki... Szlak. Dlaczego te największe marki elektroniki są najgorsze? Oprogramowanie Razora, żeby ustawić odpowiedni kolor na myszce i... O, teraz działa. Żeby ustawić odpowiedni kolor na myszce się wykrzacza praktycznie codziennie. Z kamerą walczę od zawsze. Logitecha. O dziwo... Nie, dobra, z mikrofonem od Relupa to jest w sumie rebrand, ale nieważne. Też są problemy. Chociaż ostatnio mniej. Najwyraźniej udało mi się go odkurzyć. Nie robiąc za dużo, ale zawsze. O. Does the Lake District exist in the real Britain too? Of course, it's one of the UK's biggest tourist attractions. Znaczy, wiem, że w Polsce istnieje, nazywa się Kraina Jezior. Muszę otworzyć mapy znowu. Dlaczego mapa otworzyła się na Poznaniu? Mieście Doznaniu. A, tu jest Grunwald. Jeżeli dobrze rozumiem, to to miejsce to ma być... Loch Lomond. Albo Park Królowej Elżbiety. Oba są praktycznie w tym samym miejscu, więc nie mam pojęcia, jaka jest różnica. It's known for its glacial lakes that seem to stretch on forever and for its steep rocky cracks that have never been touched by civilization. In stark contrast to highly developed cities like London, it still retains the natural beauty it's had for at least 100 years. Jak progres? Sekcja 18, let's fucking go. No, czyli najpewniej trzeciego będzie przerwa, ale to nie znaczy, że nie będzie sztryma, bo będziemy sobie rolować na te, no. O, aniversary. Bo jak drugiego ma być... Muszę sprawdzić konkretnie daty. Drugiego ma być pokaz na Anime Expo. A to znaczy, że potem trzeciego, bo między... Po pokazie będzie ten... maintenance, a potem będzie aniversary u nas. Czy jakkolwiek oni mają zamiar to zrobić. No, drugi albo trzeci. To znaczy, że finał będzie po aniversary. Fancy clothes, gourmet meals and thrilling entertainment are great and all, but there's definitely something to be said for the kind of leisure time where you can just lose yourself in your environment. Bracie w Chrystusie, Leonardo, jesteśmy w Szkocji. Leisure time w Szkocji, jak cię zeżrą myszki. Będę rolował, jak każdy mądry człowiek, na Morgan, a potem się wkurwiał, że nie poleciała. Bo pamiętajcie, tak się gra w gacze. W gacze gra się w ten sposób, że widzicie tylko tą jedną postać na roadmapie, zbieracie wszystko tylko do tego momentu, nie inwestujecie się w ogóle emocjonalnie w fabułkę i jak wam nie poleci ta postać, to się obrażacie i nie gracie już nigdy więcej. Na banner to Shizo plus Taiga. Hey Marcisław, Artoria still hasn't cheered up. What's going on with her? Is this your first time to the Lake District, Artoria? Huh? Oh, yeah. I was just thinking, so this is the famous Lake District. It sure is as pretty as a picture, isn't it? Also just as quiet. Did I mention quiet? Dodatkowo widzimy tutaj wielkie jebitne drzewo. Wyrwane praktycznie z korzeniami. And Knuckles? Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series? Bym się nie zdziwił, ale bym cię też nie zdziwił, jakby nie było tam tego Salieriego. Damn, you have no poker face at all, do you? With a new funky mod. You are obviously still thinking about what Barguest told us, right? Don't keep it to yourself. Special edition. Is this barrel gut truly Morgan's master, huh? That is the question. Though of course the real question might be, is Morgan actually a servant? It's a hell of a conundrum, that's for sure. Marcisław and I have been going back and forth trying to square that circle ever since we got here. At first I thought Morgan was the king of this Lostbelt. Same. I mean, she'd pretty much have to be if she's been ruling here for 2000 odd years. But after meeting Morgan and Beryl in Camelot... You mean when Beryl said he was Morgan's master and she didn't deny it? No w sumie też nie potwierdziła. So Morgan's not Beryl's servant, but Beryl is Morgan's master. That's a brainbuster, ain't it? I don't even know where to begin. Any ideas as to how that could work, Da Vinci? I'm afraid not. There's just too little information to work with. If Holmes were here, he could string a number of theories together into a plausible hypothesis, but he's not. What about you, Artoria? Did you come up with something? I do have one idea, I think. Co jest z jej twarzą? Wygląda niewyraźnie. I remember what you said about masters and servants and the kind of things Chaldea's done so far. But I'd rather not think about it any more than that. If I'm right, then Morgan would be... impossible for you to beat? A fairy you'd rather not even fight at all if you don't have to? Habetrot. What's wrong with not wanting to fight her? Who says you have to try and beat her no matter what? No, to tak zwane prophecy. Chaldea's goal is to acquire Morgan's Rongominiat, and the Child of Prophecy's goal is to ring the 6 bells. Trust me, I heard Ainsl's Child of Prophecy poem in Londinium enough to last a lifetime. No, na szczęście będzie na tym. Na GSSR-ce, co nie? And there's not a single verse in there about killing the queen. But Morgan herself told me to defeat her. Did she now? Jeszcze tylko 60 roli. Na szczęście to się... No, to przechodzi na kolejny baner. A nie, czekaj. She's just plain everyone's antagonist because she doesn't dare trust anyone anymore. But I'm not saying more than that. All I care about Smash and Marcisław finally being reunited. You can't go around trying to please everyone else all the time. Sometimes you've just gotta tell them to piss off. No more chit chat, we've already got a few mores headed our way. We got wyverns! Fuck yeah! You remember Bargest's warning, Marcisław? Good. Then don't hold back, we are all counting on your firepower to get us through this. So odpalę jeszcze raz tą listę, zobaczę jakie tam są opcje. Fafnir jest zajęty. Poza tym Fafnir to jest bardzo dobry chłopiec. Może trochę kartonowy, ale dobry. Co to za dźwięk? Kurna, jak ja nie cierpię, jak ktoś jedzie jakimś zardzewiałym rowerem i skrzypi tylko. Baba dinozaur. Weźcie, dajcie spokój, bo zaraz stwierdzę, że jednak roluję na innym banerku. Nie no, najbardziej mnie interesuje ten ostatni. Dodatkowa artoria, tak okej. Miss Crane... Może? Znaczy nie wydaje mi się, żebym jej potrzebował, ale... Jakbym kiedyś chciał memować... Zamiast Morgan, no Morgan. Nie będę musiał czekać tygodnia na kolejny baner. Karen miała dziwne skille. Takie fajne, dziwne skille. Jest też Kagekio, a jak wiadomo Kagekio nie umiera nigdy. Ej jo, ten baner jest a to już mówiłem kiedyś, że ten baner jest zajebisty. Wszystko praktycznie jest bardzo fajne. Ten jest też całkiem niezły. Ten baner to jest zło. Drugi ten? Od góry drugi. No jo. Pierwszy też jaki fajny. Dwa serwanty, które są zawsze OP. Jeden serwant, który jest zawsze najfajniejszy. A pozostałe też są bardzo dobre. Ten też całkiem spoko. I ten też całkiem spoko. Kurde, ciężki wybór. PTSD z Rajko? Ale chyba nie takie jak ja z Abigail. Shit. A. Ej, Artoria umiera. A to wczesna rana taka. Znaczy, młoda rana. Bo to z Heiankyo. Kurwa, 4 sztuki.
八重垣作るは戦時の刃散った成仏していきな
Już nawet nie jest Major ów. To za to jest Major ów. O, typa, ona jeszcze żyje.
折れんなよ先に行く
Najzabawniejszym pytaniem jest darmowa no, darmowa SSR-ka ze story raczej. Się zastanawiam, czy jednak nie być śmiesznym. I nie brać Zhuge-Lianga. Można się śmiać, ale NP level Zhuge-Lianga zmienia jego... ulepsza jego death down. Jej, świetne karty. A to już to w ogóle zjebałem. Fakt. Ona nie żyje. Mysterious biological weapon.
この唐室の底に秘された問いこそは汝を測り 見定める戒めとなる。
Is that a motherfucking Resident Evil reference?
3エニグマズ。
W Residentu nazywają zombiaki UBW. Wow.
やっちゃいまーす。
俺先に行く。
Jak to którego? Żugę... nie, chwila.
そこに至るはあまたの
Chcemy być śmieszni.
気づきに気づいた
Jinako.
刀さ。
Bierzcie Jinako.
縁起をもって宿業を断つ。
Jinako najlepsza, najsilniejsza.
知った成仏していきな。
Albo Arjune. No.
若造くれてやるよ。てめえとは反りが合わねえよ。
毎度あ
A jakby was kto kiedy pytał, to powiedzcie, że taki hop w internecie powiedział, że wszystko to tam dupa i jedyne co warto brać to Arjune albo Jinako. Żanio nie jest aż taki zły. Nie jest top tierem tych postaci, ale... ale ten, quickowy berserkerek. Wow. A dobra, nie, to jest jeden ten sam skill. Już chciałem się śmiać, że ej, on ma 2 skille, które mu podnoszą kryta na jedną turę. Przepraszam bardzo, dokładnie tak jest. On ma 2 skille, które mu podnoszą kryta. W zależności od tego, czy już był jego interlude, to może sobie na jedną turę odpalić 150% kryta. I do tego jeszcze 5000 Star Absorba. Nie było? To dupa. No to może mieć tylko 100% kryta dodatkowego i 0 tego Star Absorba. Oj, szkoda. Ale za to ma i wejdę na turę. To jest praktycznie Mind's Eye fake, tyle że nazywa się inaczej. A! I też działa krócej. That last monster was certainly new for Britain. Nope, that woman's gotta be nearby. What does she think this is? A vacation? O, Vlada MP5. Się zastanawiam między... ej! Lartoria tu jest. O, to komplikuje sprawy. A może Mew bym chciał? Ostatecznie chyba rzucę jakąś sową czy czymkolwiek i zobaczę, co mi wyleci. O, albo Bati. No wiesz, tyle postaci, że to mogę brać sobie cokolwiek dla śmieszków. Looks like it's going to take... I tak będę używał tylko Musashi Berserker, bo z czego innego miałbym używać. Looks like it's going to take us at least a full day to make it through the Lake District and get to the North Coast. I don't think we will make it more than halfway today. We should look for a forest where we can make camp before nightfall. Say, Habetrot, do you maybe know this area? You said you were originally from the north, right? Well, yeah, I guess. This place hasn't changed in forever, so I at least know it better than the south. Why do you ask, Da Vinci? You want a history lecture from old Habenian? If you could, that would be great. We never heard much about the Lake District down south. Gotcha, okay then, but just until sunset. Long ago, Britain used to be way smaller. Back then, this area was all ocean. To tłumaczy, dlaczego Szkocja jest taka malutka. At the time, Britain was the only landmass in the world. At least the fairies thought so. So they worked to expand the isle. No, filmka Kamelotu. Then one day, when they'd expanded it up to where Manchester is now, they noticed there was a forest on the far shore. That was this place, the British Lostbelt's Lake District, a forest in the middle of the ocean. That's where the northern fairies come from. They'd been living off the fruits of their forest all that time. The northern fairies, so they were Knocknaria's ancestors. Yep, the 6 clans and the northern fairies have totally separate lineages. Anyway, back in Fey era 6000, I guess that would be 8,000 years ago, Britain had its very first war. In it, the northern and southern fairies fought each other. Nowadays, it's only known as the War of Spring. It happened when the northern fairies got jealous of all the land the southern fairies had and crossed the sea to invade it. But even though their leader was super strong, on average the northern fairies were still weaker than the southern ones. Back then there were no humans on the northern fairies' side, only the southern fairies kept humans. So the war ended with the southern fairies' victory. Apparently it was a total massacre. Whenever the northern fairies' successors were born, the southern fairies would just kill them on the spot. That's where they got all the bodies they needed to fill in the ocean up to the Lake District. They killed so many northern fairies that eventually new generations stopped being born altogether. Wow. What happened to the northern fairies after that? Everyone thought they'd gone extinct, but nope. It turned out they were still alive. The leader of the northern fairies was made of much sterner stuff than any fairy from the 6 clans. Well, they weren't called the 6 clans back then, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the northern queen escaped, left the Lake District and went on to make the western island all by herself, out in the middle of the empty sea. Próbuję się domyślić, o co chodzi, o Irlandię? The Western Ireland, wystarczyło poczekać, became a legendary island that no one could see, but existed all the same. It became the final hope for fairies who were exiled from Britain, a sort of last bastion of castaways. Later on, there'd be another war between the North and South called the War of Summer. But that has nothing to do with the Lake District, so I will just skip that one. Anyway, after the first war, the Spring War, the War of Spring, The southern fairies claimed the Lake District for themselves and began developing their civilization even further. The fairies that would go on to become the Mirror Clan and the fairies from Britain's northmost area that would go on to become the Rain Clan each built thriving cities here. Though of course, as you can see, they've long since been wiped out. Not sure thriving is the word I'd use then. Then again, the idea of a single country enduring for more than a 1,000 years doesn't really fit for us non-Brits in the first place. Morgan's fairy Britain has lasted for more than 2,000 years, remember? Course, you can't really call it thriving either, since it hasn't advanced any in all that time. The Rain Clan, I see. Britain's skies are always cast in twilight, so it makes sense that there would have been fairies who controlled the rain and other weather. Ciekawe, że teraz dopiero dochodzimy do tego, że było mówione o tych wróżkach klanu deszczu od bardzo dawna. Może byśmy o tym pogadali. But why did the Rain Clan go extinct? Did they disappear naturally or... I will tell you that once we get to Orkney. All you need to know for now is that the Rain Clan and their city, Orkney, were destroyed in Fey Era 4000. So 6,000 years ago then? Now I see, so that's why Ireland's nowhere to be found. Ciężko mi znaleźć korelację między tymi dwoma miejscami, ale okej. The Northern Fairies must be of Irish descent. And the only Northern Fairy to survive the War of Spring was their queen. But then, what happened to the Western Island? Why is that gone too? Why do you think? 'Cause the Northern Fairies migrated to Britain, of course. Mab made that island to keep her fairies safe. She took it all back into herself just before she invaded the British Isle. That was the War of Summer, back in Fey Era 2000. Ask the Savior and the first Fairy Knight fought in it too. Man, you guys wouldn't believe how strong Queen Mab was. After their failure in the War of Spring, the Northern Fairies coexisted with humans in Ireland for 4,000 years. The Southern Fairies only saw humans as tools for producing entertainment. The Northern Fairies, though, they saw humans as partners and together they built a real civilization. No, to pokazuje różnicę między Brytanią a resztą świata. So even though the Southern Fairies had the numbers advantage, the Northern Fairies were still overwhelmingly strong. At first, Queen Mab wanted to wipe out the Southern Fairies as payback for what they did to the Northern ones. But eventually, Ask managed to broker a peace between the two sides. As part of the deal, the Northern Fairies were ceded the north part of Britain as their territory and welcomed into the fold as the King Clan. That's when the 6 clans we know now first came about. The rest you guys already know. Anyway, with that kind of bad blood between them, it's it's no wonder the fairies of the North and South still don't get along even in the era of the High Queen, right? Honestly, I'm having a little trouble keeping all this straight. Basically, all you have to remember is that there was a big battle between the clans in the last years of the Fey era, right before the era of the High Queen began. What about the start of the Fey era 14,000 years ago? Do you know anything about that? Nope, that's not there's not a single record of Britain's genesis. Ask and the first Fairy Knight tried their hardest to track one down, but all they learned was the story of the 6 fairies. The 6 fairies, as in... Raz, dwa, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you already know about it. Yep, it was that mural. I don't remember all that much about it either, but if you want, I will tell you what I know as a bedtime story. Not that there's all that much to it, at least it only makes for a decent lullaby. Jak żyjecie tam? Już jedna strzałeczka za nami. Okej, czyli nie wszyscy zmarli podczas tego story time'u. I w sumie jedna ważna rzecz. Co ten gość właściwie ma za dyspozycję kartową? A, normalną. Let's go! Raport ze stanowiska oficerskiego w gildii? O. Ghost. Kurde, Muramasa gnoju, oddawaj te gwiazduncje. Potęga. Kurna, przeżyło. Jaki gnój. Jeszcze nawet nie ma karty na koniec.
やりま
あ
す
の辺りか。
Miało się tak ładnie skończyć.
そこに至るはあまたの研鑽。気づきに気づいた刀塚。縁起をもって宿業を断つ。八重垣作るは千字の刃。知った成仏していきな。
Ja miałem ciekawą historię z WoWem i Lost Arkiem, bo rajdy w WoWie z czasem... Tego jest więcej. Wow. Mogłem spojrzeć, ile tego jest.
もちろん
先に行く。わかった。
Uważałem, że rajdy w WoWie są dość przekombinowane. Zwłaszcza do niedawna, nie mam pojęcia jak teraz. A potem zagrałem w Lost Arka. I to był dokładnie ten mem. Maybe I treated you too harshly. Korea to jest zupełnie inny rodzaj zwierzęcia. Taki najgorszy, chciwego, metodycznego zwierzęcia. To mi dużo da w tej turze. Potem.
先に行く。 そこに至るはあまたの研鑽。
Ja nie rozumiem, jak ludzie mogą w Lost Arku się między sobą komunikować. Chyba muszą wyłączyć wszystkie efekty specjalne w grze. Nawet na Voltanie nie widziałem niczego, co jest na ziemi. Kurna!
あとは頼んだ。
Zostawił mu 44 punkty życia i wykitował sam. No co za czub.
やります。もちろん。やっ。はじけて。シャッキボル。セクエンス。先手の杖。光を。
Lost Ark jest straszny. Dostałem wylewu słuchając, jakie są mechaniki na pierwszym stage'u Waltana, czyli pierwszego rajdu. I do dzisiaj nie rozumiem, jak właściwie to działa. Czym są te gate'y? Dlaczego raid jest podzielony na jakieś gate'y, skoro i tak robi się je naraz?
よし。
お釈迦様は全部お見通しなんだから。
This spot looks perfect. Okay, guys, that's enough walking for today. Let's go ahead and set up camp. I'll go fetch the water. I will go gather brushwood, I mean firewood. Na razie. I will go write a report for the border. I will go laze around for a while, since I'm just plain tired. Mood. Then I will put up a banded field to ward off animals and insects. Mamy magię, która odstrasza myszki. Godsend. Gosh, camping is so much fun, no matter where you do it. Roger that. All hands, move out. O, dzień dobry. Mam nadzieję, że ten duch też, jak wszyscy wyciągnęli ręce, to też położył łapę. I ktoś tam pomyślał, hey, what the ghost doing? All that's left to do now is rest up for tomorrow. Yep, I think now's a good time to call it a night. There don't seem to be any dangerous creatures here, so... Hold it, I still haven't told you guys about the 6 fairies, like I promised. Oh, right, I'm sorry, Habenian, please go right ahead. Don't worry, I'm listening, it sounds pretty important after all. Okay, now which diary was it? Aha, here it is. Habenian's History, page 153. It became ocean at the end. There was ocean at the beginning. After the shooting star passed, the land all ran into rivers. O, jaki śmieszny. Long, long ago, as far back as time can go, 6 fairies went outside to find the world had become an ocean. There was no land, no rocks, no fish, no birds. And of course there were no mountains or forests, which the 6 fairies loved more than anything. The 6 fairies didn't know what to do. They grew sad and thought of going home. This is awful, they thought. How terrible our world has become. Then a large shadow rose up from the ocean, and it killed them. The end. It belonged to a giant fluffy creature. On its shoulder stood one of the animals the fairies believed was gone. The animal on its shoulder called the fluffy creature Kernunos. Kernunos, the animal, and the 6 fairies soon became friends. It wasn't easy living on the ocean. There was nowhere to go and nothing to do. But Kernunos made things better for the 6 fairies by sheltering them from the waves. However, the animals said that Kernunos was a god and that he needed offerings. So the 6 fairies offered Kernunos their joy, and they offered Kernunos their wish. The ocean without waves is nice, but we still wish having land. And so the fairy's wish was granted. Then, after their rejoicing ended, the god grew tired and fell asleep. The 6 fairies revered Cernunnos for granting their wish. They made grateful use of everything that was left behind. Thus did the Isle of Britain come into being. May the first 6 fairies find salvation. The end. So, was that helpful, Arto? Wow, you are amazing, Habenian. I can't believe how much you know. Is she talking in her sleep? Pretending to be awake? What about the rest of you? Muramasa? Da Vinci? Marcisław? I'm fine, I'm just attending dream school. There's no such thing as dream school. But seriously, that really was helpful. It seems pretty clear now that the giant beast from the mural, Cernunnos, really did exist, along with the 6 clan ancestors. Also, what do you think that animal riding on Cernunnos' shoulder was? Nie pamiętam. Poczytałem o Cernunnosie jakiś czas temu. Jeleń. Odsunąłem tą skrzynkę, żeby już nie dźwięczała. A, racja. Czołek to mógł być. I can only think it was a human. Animal that was... that they believed not to exist anymore, czy jakoś tak. I think so too. Gods do like having mouthpieces. My guess is that human was Cernunnos' priest. They were probably there to share their god's word with the world. I see, so that mean when Britain was first created there was a god, a priest and fairies, huh? But now there's no god, no priest, and the only humans that exist were made by fairies. There's gotta be something more to this story, maybe that's what Morgan's hiding. Seeing how any stories related to gods completely died out in the era of the High Queen, you're probably right. But that leaves us with yet another question. If this story is true, it mean Cernunnos gave the southern fairies, the 6 clans' ancestors, this land. But then, who gave the northern fairies the land with woods on it in the Lake District? To mogła wcale nie być wyspa taka normalna, tylko to mogło być to, co teraz Morgan nazywa Flotsam. Czyli mogły tu przywędrować spoza Lostbeltu? Oh, I know that one. This is a secret only the Mirror Clan and those born before the era of the High Queen began knew, but a certain being's corpse lay somewhere in the Lake District. Even if the world had become totally blank, or an empty sea with no life, it remained all by itself without decomposing until it eventually transformed into a small forest. Albion the Border, the last dragon. The corpse it left behind when it failed to return to the paradise of Avalon became the Northern Fairies' homeland. No, zastanawiałem się, czy nie powinienem trochę zmienić tego tytułu, tam mgły nad Albionem, czy cokolwiek. Ale nie, mgły na Kurhanach też pasuje. Skoro to Kurhan. Wow, więcej duchów. So that's what we talked about last night. Thanks, Marcisław, and I'm sorry about being... I'm sorry again about falling asleep last night, Habenian. It's okay, I'm not mad anymore. Besides, I did say it'd make for a decent lullaby. It sure did. I slept great. I haven't dreamt so peacefully in a long time. W sumie zacząłem o tym Lost Arku wcześniej. Kiedy w końcu wychodzi ten cholerny aeromancer? Nie korci mnie za bardzo, żeby wracać, ale pograłbym sobie tym aeromancerem, bo to jest praktycznie Diablo, dopóki się nie zacznie gówno. Więc jak wychodzi nowa klasa, to można sobie pograć. So just how amazing was this Albion thing anyway? In proper human histories archaeological circles, Albion is thought to be the name of Britain's prehistoric civilization. In the Magecraft world, it's also known as the Dragon of the Age of Gods and the last pure-blooded dragon. Jest też opcja tego... Próbuję sobie przypomnieć, czy tam było białego giganta, czy po prostu giganta. Gdzieś w Szkocji chyba jest park narodowy i tam jest to takie malowidło na wzgórzu. Dużego chopa, białe takie malowidło, dużego chopa z dużym siurem. So to put how amazing that is in more concrete terms, well, while servants, that is, heroic spirits, could be said to be super beings that are way beyond humanity both physically and spiritually, not all servants are equal. They are ranked based on the scale of their spirit origin. The heroic spirits at the very top of the tier, the ones that even other heroic spirits would consider astonishingly powerful, are known as Grand Servants. By that token, Albion would probably be considered a Grand Dragon by other dragons. Granddad? I mean, if it was around when Earth was formed, that alone would mean it possessed 4.6 billion years worth of genetic information. No dokładnie, Flintstonowi. Jabba dabba dług. It's not a god that was modeled on human perception or one discovered through faith. It's a primordial supernatural being. That said, humanity is no slouch either. In just a few 100,000 years, we took the accumulation of all 4.6 billion years worth of life on the Earth and deciphered it, acquired it for ourselves, and are actively trying to develop it even further. And we actively trying to destroy this planet even further. Jakby było amerykańskie, to tak by było napisane. So, while a single human might not compare to something as amazing as Albion, as a race, there's nothing out there that surpasses humanity. We are the most advanced life form on Earth, you know. Well said, we might be enemies, but just now I'm real glad we are on the same side. Thanks. You might be our enemy, but I love how you give credit where it's due. Of all the ways for two people to become friends. And yet they still think of themselves as enemies. Weird. I know, right? Since ancient times, boys have and always will be boys, huh? Well said, Mr. Ghost. Well said. To nie powinno być śmieszne, bo już to zrobili kiedyś. Ej, chwila, jest teraz na Steamie Koei Tecmo wyprzedaż? Fascinating. Mirror who's behind. Night Call. Apply evade to yourself at the end of each turn. Ale tylko jedną atakową. Bierz go, G-Man. Ciekawe, że chodzi o Irlandię, kiedy mówią zachodnia wyspa. Kiedy pomiędzy Irlandią a Wielką Brytanią jest jeszcze wyspa Man. To jest małe wypierdowie, ale zawsze. On ma grudge. Wolę o wiele bardziej te duchy z Tsukishimy. Co? Byłoby fajnie. Te duchy z... Kurna. Te duchy z Karanokyokai.
多くの言葉、わずかなきらめき、どれほど遠く汚れても私は星を探すのです。さあ、幕を開けてアラウンドカリバーン。
Ej, po drodze jest jeszcze inna wyspa. Aktualnie stąd, od Glasgow na zachód, jest wyspa Aran. That was fun. I se poszedł. Byłoby zabawne, jakby to był Ainsel. Okay, that's enough of that. You are the fairy who's been following us since yesterday, aren't you? That's me. Hi there, I'm Mirror, the Night Call. I've been watching you guys since I picked up your lovely auras. By the way, unlike the original, my gender isn't exactly a secret, okay? A night call, so you are a spirit who didn't disappear after dying, but that's weird. I don't sense any hostility or malice or anything from you. Nope, I don't have any regrets or grudges. I'm just too strong to disappear, that's all. Wow, ej, to ten, no, to Deathmount Deathplay się dopiero co skończyło. I've been stuck like this for years on end now. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what to do about it either. Gotcha, sounds like a real problem. Would it help if we left some food on your grave or something? You want to leave food on my grave, even though there's nothing there? That's so funny. But thanks, you guys are really nice fairies. Man, you sure are a cheerful night call, aren't you? Guess you didn't die cause you lost your purpose then. How'd you bite it? Was it sudden? Did you have an unlucky accident or something? It was more of an incident than an accident. We were all massacred by the fire and a wind 6 years ago, just like Ainsel predicted. Ainsel died then too. By the fire. Ainsel died then too. Now there's no one from the Mirror Clan left. No to pierdolę, nie jest jedna osoba. At least I'm pretty sure there isn't, or was there? That's odd. Oh well, everyone forgets things sometimes. Huh? Anyway, you guys look like you're a lot of fun, so I have a little request I'm hoping you can help me with. See, a few years ago, a weird fairy showed up and started living in a really important place we used to protect. Do you think you might be able to chase her off for me? Well, while we are usually willing to help fairies, I mean Nightcalls in need, we kind of have somewhere we need to be ourselves. But just out of curiosity, what does this weird fairy look like? Well, she's wearing a fancy upper-class fairy dress and she even wears fancy glasses. Kojanskaja! Kurwa! And she has a whole bunch of subordinates and a pink tail. Hang on, that sounds like Koyan Chihuahua. Skąd wiem? No, powiedział mi dopiero co. Czemu ja to piszę? Czy mogę po prostu sprawdzić kod bez aktywacji, co nie? Nie, nie mogę. Kiedyś się dało. Wow. No to aktywowałem kod. Czy ja to znam? To jest jakieś świeże, bo ja śledzę kilka projektów, które są w fazie testowej i dopiero potem po jakimś czasie wychodzą, ja nawet o tym nie pamiętam już wtedy. Wygląda jak coś, co śledziłem, kiedy powstawało, ale to chyba nie to. No Grime. 2021, no to chyba jednak nie. Jak to mówią, już wiem, co będziemy za miesiąc robić. Kojanskaja is that servant we saw with Murian, right? Oberon seemed to think she was dangerous, but does that mean she's a problem Chaldea has to deal with too? That aspect of her is still kind of up in the air. There's no doubt that she is fundamentally incompatible with humanity as a whole, but we've also never faced her directly just yet, nie? Ja pamiętam, że w Olympusie przyszła prawdziwa Tamamo i pokazała temu fejkasowi, jak to wygląda w prawdziwym świecie i w ogóle. Mówiąc po ludzku, spuściła jej w pierdol. A potem zrobiła to samo, ale z Afrodytą. To było piękne. Wtedy ludzie, ej, ale ten boss potrafi instashotować. Co? Nie zauważyłem. She did try to kill us during the attack on Chaldea base, but that was probably just her following the foreign god's orders. She's also made a habit of toying with the local populace in each Lostbelt, but I think that's just her way of enacting retribution. She basically took the existing systems of exploitation in a given world, like the relationship between the ruling class and the lower class, and exaggerated them. She may hate humanity, but she's never tried to obliterate it. Yet. That said, she's been making a point of collecting creatures from each Lostbelt which never existed in proper human history. Also that she is the immature form of a beast, an evil bent on destroying humanity, would put her pretty firmly in the evil camp. If Koyanskaya were just acting as Murian's bodyguard, that's between them. We'd have no business interfering. But if she's adding to our collection here too, then we can't just sit back and do nothing. It's really only a matter of time until she turns those creatures against us. Stopping her now is just a kind of self-defense, so we don't have to fight them off later. I see. I think I understand why she's so dangerous now. In which case, she must be after... Mirror, are you where the dragon's remains are now? We sure are. That weird fairy came traddling up to that pitch-black pool one day with an umbrella in tow, even though no one besides us should know about it. Then she kicked out the Morse, and the last I saw she was doing something nasty to the dragon's corpse. Oh no. Naszczała na niego czy co? The dragon's corpse? She's after Albion. Damn it, has she no shame at all? That thing's gotta be like a national treasure. No tourist like her has a right to take it. Not to mention how badly it would reflect on proper human history. Morse! Morse! There's a whole bunch of Morse here. Run for it, everyone! Forget about the dragon's corpse! Don't throw your lives away! Don't worry, we will be fine. Luckily there aren't many pure fairies here, so we can handle a bunch of Moors. Oh, but make sure you stand back, Habetrot. We don't want to risk a worst-case scenario. Don't be daft, you idiot. This is no time to be worrying about me. Their poison is super deadly. Make sure your healers are ready to go, Marcisław. If I have to, I will go fight these things myself. Cool. Habenian. Tak. Gina go. Muszę zobaczyć jedną małą rzecz, bo nie sprawdziłem tego wcześniej. Czy Ginako tutaj też ma literówkę w nazwie? Tak, cały czas ma tą literówkę w nazwie. Za chuja nie rozumiem, skąd ona się tutaj wzięła. Jakim cudem ona trafiła do oficjalnych produkcji? Gdzie on był? A tu. Dem użył swojego presence concealment na mnie. Literówka C zamiast K. Ginako jest Japonką. W Japonii nie ma litery C. Czego ja... A, to wezmę. A to jest jeszcze śmieszniejsza rzecz, bo Cirno oryginalnie powinno się wymawiać Chillno. Bo jest lodową wróżką. Jest bardzo chill. W zasadzie Rumia też powinno się wymawiać Lumia. Bo jest yokai, które produkuje ciemność wokół siebie. Lum jak lumen, czyli z łaciny światło. Ironia, ale niech im będzie. No to wolę Rumia, bo Rumia to miasto w Polsce, a to zabawne. A.
大丈夫。落ち着いて。普段通りに。目覚めよ神のパワー。
へへパワー。
白兵戦行きます。今のうちに準備を。頑張れ。
目覚めよ。
戦いですか。なぜも同じ気に。ガネーシャさんのすごいところ見せてやる。ネギョ安泰パッケよし。今激をものガーネッシュインパクト。おおおお。明日 したから運動するっていけ虫子くん後で美味しくいただくっすよ
Ochu. Szlak. Miałem nadzieję wszystkich sprzątnąć naraz, a ten ostatni się przesiedzi jeszcze przez turę. I'm in danger.
So はいつか来る兆しの星、希望の地、楽園の後、誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。運命は誰のために、アラウンドカリバーン。
Ej. Nie, dobra, nieważne. Nie da się wymówić tego tak jak chciałem. Jedyny sposób, w jaki można by bronić zapisu C jest taki, że w starojapońskim systemie romanizacji było tak, że zamiast shi i chi pisało się si i ci. Dlatego mamy na przykład w Mahotsukai no Yoru stary zapis nazwiska protaga, jednego z protagów. Konrad? A tam jakoś śmiesznie napisane, nie pamiętam jak się nazywał. To bardzo ważna postać. Sojuro, jak to było? A, Shizuki. No, to się nazywa Shizuki, a w napisach jest Shizuki. To nie jest błędny zapis, ale jest głupi. No, tak można by bronić jeszcze tego Carigiri, z tym, że to istnieje tylko przy Shi i Chi, więc no nie. Dlatego w sumie też Ciro jest tak napisana. Ja w pełni zdaję sobie sprawę, że moja wymowa jest błędna, ale mam to w dupie. Crap, there was... 3 was bad enough, now there's even more. Wprowadzą 6 przeciwników na ekranie. Something's not right here. Morse wouldn't gather on their own like this. It's gotta be a trap Kojanskaya set. She must really not want anyone getting past here. You mean she's already got Morse under her thumb? This Kojanskaya lady must be even more trouble than I thought. In fact, now that I think about it, I can't believe you know what she was like and still greeted her in Gloucester like it was no big deal, Marcisław. I can't really argue with that. Znaczy, próbowałem jej spuścić w pierdol, ale mnie zatrzymali. What else could have could have done back then? Muriel was there too, you know. Now quit gripping and get back to fighting. If we can't end this, I'm gonna end up using my noble phantasm until I'm drained dry. Keep those enchantments coming, Artoria. I will pull off Street Sumukari in a row if that's what it takes, even if I have to burn my own spirit origin for fuel. Hob właśnie powiedział, że będziemy trzyturować. Double Artoria System Real Canon. Huh? Does that mean servant spirit origins are flammable? Can't speak for everyone's, but mine is. Look, don't worry about it. Like I said, just keep 'em coming. When you've been standing at the forge as long as I have, losing an eye for a leg stops seeming like such a big deal. Jebło. Co to coś tu robi? Fair Knight Lancelot? What are you doing here? Never mind that, I'm going to clear out these walls. Stand back, Child of Prophecy. You are only getting in my way. No way, that's the Child of Prophecy? Now that I'm a Nightcall, I couldn't tell it was her. But now that I'm getting a better look at her, I can sense it too. Yay, she finally made it back to the entrance to paradise. This is great, what a relief. Now all of our purposes have finally been fulfilled. Gada zupełnie jakby miał zaraz umrzeć. Hello, Britain's Belle of Ending. So you are the one with the highest of callings. The second Avalon Lefay. Co? Do you understand the implication? Warning, in the 5th progress node of section 18 Albion, you will be defeated if the guest servant Fair Knight Lancelot is vanquished. Would you like to begin the quest? Dobrze, że mi to chociaż powiedzieli. Ale z drugiej strony mogli to dopiero na koniec powiedzieć, albo jeszcze lepiej, mogli dać pod Lancelotem mogli dać napis, że on death kills whole party. I see none of you were hurt or killed, not that it is any of my concern. How in the world can she rapid fire her noble phantasm like that? Boy, let me introduce you to Double Castoria System. You didn't come here to save us, did you? No, I suppose I could have just left you to your own devices. But this place is special to me, so I didn't want Morse ruining it, that's all. So you are not going to fight the Child of Prophecy? Yes, I will, but not now. We all know there is going to be a war eventually. When there is, we Fairy Knights will lead the charge against the Child of Prophecy and the Foreign Mage. Ona jeszcze nie wie. There is no need to rush things. When the time comes, I will make your deaths so excruciating that your souls will flee your bodies from the pain alone. So cruel and sadistic. You're pretty ugly on the inside for a fairy said to be the most beautiful in Britain, aren't you? Me? The most beautiful? That's very kind of you to say, but no, I'm not the most beautiful fairy in Britain. Well, maybe you value function over form, but true beauty has nothing to do with combat ability. Why am I bothering to talk about this? I really need to learn what is and isn't appropriate for fairies one of these days. Anyway, I take it you are all here to ring the bell of pilgrimage. If you are, then I'd just turn around and leave if I were you. There's nothing like that here anymore. Anything that used to be here has long since been burned to... Yikes, you scared me. Did you see a ghost or something? Yes, I'm looking at one. Have you guys really not noticed it until just now? That's a night call. And if it's here, it must be from the Mirror Clan. I see, so that's what was calling to me. Huh? No, you've got it all wrong. We don't begrudge anyone anything. We already did everything we had to do. We have nothing left to tell you. More importantly, are you sure you don't want to hurry to the bog? Otherwise you might be too late to stop that outsider from taking your homeland for herself. Come on, Lancelot or no Lancelot, we can't let Koyanskaya get away with this, right? O. Patrzcie, do czego doprowadza taplanie się w błocie. Patrzcie i wyciągajcie wnioski. That NFF keep out tape looks so out of place here. What are these hideous bindings doing here? How dare you wade into our lake with your dirty feet? Dirty feet, of all the nerve. I will have you know I am very fond of this dress Lady Murian gave me. So I've been toiling away at this excavation from the air, as you can see. Unfortunately, these moors I just acquired have been unable to either transport or destroy it. So I was nearly on the verge of writing the whole thing off as a loss. But luckily, even though these bones are worthless junk to me now, it seems mistreating them a little was the right choice. Now I will get my hands on the fairy knight I've been waiting and hoping for. This aura, you must be an immature beast. You know about beasts, Lancelot? Of course I do. Why do you know about them? Oh, I see. Proper human history must be having a tougher time than I thought. Those bones must be what's left of Albion's corpse. Whatever Koyanskaya wants with them, we can't let her get it. Come on, Marcisław, we need to help Lancelot. I don't know what Koyanskaya's after, but whatever it is, it can't be good. This time we are gonna cut off her tail and send her packing. What was that? How dreadfully crude. Not all of us world-class beauties ruin nations, you know. Why, if anything I'm doing humanity a favor, I'd say what I'm doing here is philanthropy. But I suppose trying to get you all to see reason is a fool's errand, since you can't even see what a blight this thing actually is. All that hard work I put in to acquire this fine specimen of a weapon, and you have all ruined it. You know, I think this may be a fine occasion to finally get rid of you all. Stand back everyone. Something huge is coming out of the bog. Is that a dragon? Could it be Albion itself? No, what are you, blind? It's just another Morse. You're all brown and no brains, aren't you? You will never be a match for Morgan like that. Hey, you can't blame Artoria for being confused. These magical energy levels are insane. They are as high as the calamity in Norwich, if not higher. Yeah, right, I didn't want to believe it, but this water is all made up of the same stuff as Morse. It's literally dripping with animosity towards fairies. We are basically surrounded by Morse now. There's no escape. That's right, this is where Albion's dead flesh rotten away, becoming the most foul substance in all of Britain. And that's not all. This is also where the northern fairies were massacred in the War of Spring. For 8,000 years their hatred has festered away in this natural cauldron. Albion itself may be no more than a pile of bones now, but it's no trouble to collect all the magical elements that were left here and make them into what they used to be. What are you saying? Are you planning to steal Albion's corpse since it perished all alone in the sea of nothingness? Of course not. My clients wouldn't be interested in acquiring a zombie. No, this is strictly a one-time deal. I will return it to its old decayed flesh once all of Chaldea's dead. Besides, you're the thing I'm really after. Haven't I already mentioned that? You see, Lord Beryl gave me a juicy super secret bit of info. You're a living Albion, so I'm going to take you away from here and keep you all to myself. But if Lancelot is Albion, why does she still look like a fairy? Now, as much as I hate to cut short a chat about my fabulous products, I'm afraid I must. Good day, Chaldeans. Thank you so much for your patronage these last several months. Now allow me to escort you down to the depths of hell, where you can wait for Britain's destruction. This is way worse than it was in Norwich. It's suicide to fight a Morse of this scale without Mash's protection. We've gotta find a way to retreat back to those ruins. The hell it is, don't be fooled, this thing's all bark and no bite. Sure, this box curse is powerful, but it's not a real calamity. That weird lady up there's just giving it temporary form. You guys can take this thing easily. Now come on and kick its butt, Marcisław. This is no time to be hanging out here. Mash is waiting for you to come get her in Orkney. Really, Habenian? Damn, just when I thought I'd broken their spirits, if only that old little fairy hasn't struck her nose in. Fine, I will help you all here. Just this once I'm going to disable the name and gift Her Majesty bestowed on me. Because if that really is Albion's animated flesh, then I'm the only one who can burn it away. Hear me, I am not the knight known as Lancelot. My true name is Melusine, Melusine of the Dark Bog. I am the descendant of Albion, given my name by the most beautiful being alive. Habenian. Fuck, nie tu. To. To? Nie, to też nie to. To. Co to jest węgielek? Tak szczerze pytając? Dobra, to będzie grupa wsparcia. Tak zwana mocna grupa. A jeden nawet będzie mieć gatsy. Wow. Ej, chwila, ale przecież przegramy, jeżeli zginie Melużyna. O, jaki śmieszny.
瞬きの間に終わらせる。私に任せて。
Albion's dead flesh. When HP reaches 0, recover HP and survive. And when HP is less than 0%, apply a state where Albion's dead flesh is removed if you sustain support NPCs Melusine AoE NP BP. Ray Horizon. Scream Eleusis. Did I perhaps trigger a PTSD?
良妻ですもの。節約節約。いいでしょう。ひれ伏し。最悪。私にそれ言う？もっと早く。
Dodali jej pogłos.
負けないぞ。
Jest ciekawy sposób na wprowadzenie tego konceptu. Myślałem, że po prostu jej wpierdolimy na tyle, że się przetransformuje.
最後の竜。ジョフロワからプロモンへ。時を示せ。行けいたいと。
Oh no, she's weak. Aż mi korci, żeby zacząć od nowej, najpierw trochę zmniejszyć te gówna.
もっと最悪弱いこの名はアルビオン境界を開く最後の竜ジョフロワからフロモンへ時を示せ行けいたいと
A dobra, wraca tylko z odrobinką życia. Jakby wracał z pełnym życiem, byłoby troszeczkę jakby, nawet nie z całym życiem, nawet jakby wracał z połową albo cokolwiek, to by było trochę trudniej. Major Uf.
よく行きましょう。
あれはいつか見た終わりの星。多くの言葉、わずかなきらめき。どれほど遠く汚れても私は星を探すのです。さあ幕を開けてアラウンドカリバーン。
終わるがいい。狂い咲く。
Czako narysował meluzynę. To powinno nam już od samego początku dużo mówić, bo to jest osoba, która głównie zajmuje się rysowaniem mechów. To czasem też nie jest osoba, która zaprojektowała kosmos z Zino Sagi? Też muszę sprawdzić. Uwaga, bo się dowiem. No, się kurna dowiem. No, ale napierdalają te muzyczki zza okna. Chciałem powiedzieć, że mamy problem, ale nie mamy. Mogę tego używać? Co mi to teraz daje? A, MP Strength and Apply Invincible. Jep. Joaj. Szajsti? Nie wiem co to jest i nie chcę wiedzieć. Brzmi jak żygańsko na następną godzinę. Oh no, he alive. Mamy mały problem. Taki tyciusi malusi problem. Meluzyna zgromadziła na sobie tyle kersów. Nieważne. No to w dupie. By the power of my command spell I command you, fuck him up. So fucking hard. Nie mam czasu. Nie mam ochoty tego robić jeszcze raz.
ジョフロワからフロモンへ時を示せ行けイタイトありがとうございます皆さんのおかげです
True name revealed. Tak dobrze nam poszło. Tak dobrze nam poszło, że aż sobie strzelę. Aż sobie strzelę szejka proteinowego. Beast! O chuj. She got her. Yep, that's Lancelot Sarondite. She just destroyed Khenska's speed core, no question. No nie, to był tylko after image. She's gone. What happened? I mean Melusine. I thought you'd killed her. Lancelot. In this form, I am Fahrenheit Lancelot. I will tell you nothing unless you call me by that name. Not that there is anything I want to tell you in any case. Jaki cheeky gówniarz. Okay, Lancelot, we won't mention that other name again. But it looks like you're just as strong even without your gifted name. In fact, you might even be weaker as Lancelot, so if you want to go by that name, you won't hear us complain. Exactly. Thank you for being so understanding. No problem. I'm flattered you think so. But anyway, what happened with Khenskaya? Should we assume she got away? Well, maybe. I should have gone for her head, not her heart. That beast was still weak since she wasn't fully grown, but she had vitality to spare. No, ta gra dziwnie często rzuca tak casualowo nawiązaniami do najśmieszniejszych memów na świecie. Pamiętacie, jak w Olympusie Musashi dostała pierdolca, zaczęła machać mieczami i krzyczeć coś, że Iori, ty chuju jebany, urwiesz mi od internetu kabel i tak dalej. I wtedy między nami a nią stanął Caligula, chwycił za miecz, powiedział nice knife. I go złamał. If I had to guess, I say she has several lives, though she should at least be incapacitated for a few days. I'm just glad she's gone for now. No a potem zaczął gadać o futbolu. Gadał o futbolu tak długo, że Musashi w końcu doszła do siebie i powiedziała: What is wrong with you? You said it. She is probably writhing in pain trying to patch up the hole in her torso right about now. Serves her right. This is great. Now old Lord Skelly will stick around for a long time yet. Without Lord Skelly, the lake would have filled back in with regular ocean. Then the border between the surface and the spirit cavern would fall apart and Lady Ansel would be sad. Lord Skelly, is that really what the Mirror Clan called Albion? Yep, it's easy to tell who you mean that way, right? Anyway, why don't we go back? The longer you stay here, the worse you are gonna feel. I'm getting that, yeah, this poison is strong enough to affect spirit origins. I don't even want to think about the genetic effects it could have on living creatures. Besides, while I'd love to investigate Albion's corpse further, we have something else that needs doing right now. What are you going to do now, Lancelot? We are going back to those ruins. You need to ask? I've helped you already, so it's only right that I stick around a little longer. So you want to keep an eye on us to be sure we don't mess with Albion's bones? I guess that is a more direct way of putting it. Thanks for clearing that out. What? What is it? Stare all you want, you are not going to find a weakness. It's not that, I was just wondering what you being a living Albion means. Albion, I have to say, Melusine is a lovely name. I can't believe she just blurted that out. Even Habetrot knew better than to bring it up. That has nothing to do with you, and it's not worth talking about. Lancelot is Albion's left claw. When the planet turned into the sea of nothingness, Albion, who didn't make it back to paradise, exhausted their strength and died when they fell from the sky. But even though their core, their heart, had stopped, their flesh lived on. Right before their body completely fell apart, they cut off their left claw. That left claw was Melusine's before this new life. It was here in this lake for a long time, but not even sure if it was alive or dead. But I didn't see anything like that the last time I was here. I'm sure you didn't. Before I looked like this, I was just a filthy clump of flesh. I had no muscles, no bones, no cilia, no hair, no joy, no fun, no sadness, no suffering. Okay, patrz. I didn't even know I was a dragon, or what I would have liked to be. I may have been alive, but I wasn't truly living, I was just a thing reeling in the darkness of the bog. W sumie, skoro już mowa o nawiązaniu do Metal Geara, to przecież w Atlantydzie był ten moment, kiedy Charlotte Corday wzięła i powiedziała, że Hades play rules of nature i rozciachała Metal Geara. Znaczy Cerbera, znaczy Metal Geara, znaczy Cerbera. But then one day... Please stop this, Lady Aurora. You are going to dirty yourself. No, patrząc na pewne elementy, to już jest ujebana. Any creature living in a bog like this must be even filthier than the Moors. Why would you say something like that? Just look at how much it's struggling to reach the light. It's okay, this lake is quite shallow, I'm sure even I can help it. O, to jest nawiązanie do tego, do trzeciego do Final Ascendu. What is that thing? It looks like a rotten fruit. Please get away from it, Lady Aurora, you will ruin your dress. Oh my, you poor thing, you must be so cold, you are not a water fairy, are you? W sumie to jest. Hello there. Hello there, darling one. Or good morning. I think, yes, that's better. My name is Aurora. What's yours? General Aurora. I odpala ten Ray Horizon, na którym ma te dwuręczne mieczory. Now that we are friends, could I offer you some tea? Oh, only if you like tea, of course. I met someone who had no reservations about cradling a creature like me in her arms. It was the first time I'd seen something beautiful. That was when I gained this form. I was no more than a bunch of cells that once I saw her, I knew I wanted to be just like her. That was the first thing I ever wanted. And now I have this body along with the name she gave me, Melusine. So you didn't have muscles or bones or even cilia to transport cells. You must have been something like an amoeba then. But then, once you saw a model for a new way to be, you transformed into a fairy. Yes, that's right. Amazing, isn't it? It truly was a miracle. Nobody else would ever have thought to go into that dark, muddy bog, let alone cradle me like that. That's why my life belongs to her. My whole reason for being is making her wish come true. But she had duties she couldn't neglect, so we couldn't be together forever. 100 years ago, the Earth Wind King and Fang clans were so afraid of the calamity that they began fighting amongst themselves again. Bym nie miał problemu, gdyby nazwała ją larwą. Bo wygląda jak sassy gówniarstwo. So at High Queen Morgan's suggestion, I became Fairy Knight Lancelot to bring the fighting to an end. So that's why you are the only Fairy Knight who doesn't have her own army or domain. Tristan, Banshee, hates fairies. Gawain, Vargest, loves fairies. Humans too. What about you, Lancelot? How do you feel about them? Did you just start caring for Percival on a whim? No, I didn't. I love Percival deeply. Love? Sweet home Alabama. Wow, to nawet nie było śmieszne. No, czyta się Banshee. Banshee są szkockim upiorem i tak się je oryginalnie zapisuje. Tak samo jak w Final Fantasy VII jest ten taki dziwny mech z kotem, który w sumie jest robotem. Ten kot to jest robot i postać, która nim steruje, jest tam gdzie indziej, ją spotykamy też, ale nieważne. To coś nazywa się Kate Sith. Tak jest napisane. To się czyta Kaishi. I watched over him for 10 years, ever since he was a little boy. No, ale oczywiście, jeżeli pracujemy w TV gry, to możemy powiedzieć, że jest to członkini naszej ekipy i nazywa się Kate Sith. Kate Sith. O. Tego się będę czepiał, bo to jest brak zrobienia odrobiny researchu. To nawet nie jest wejście na wiki postaci, żeby przeczytać ją prawidłowo. To było dawno temu gdzieś, nie pamiętam jaki to był film, coś o brońkach dla postaci, czy coś w tym rodzaju. Ukrytych broniach specjalnych, które ciężko zdobyć. Pewnie były takie 4, więc mało zawęziłem. To jest problem TV gry, oni robią te filmy na co dzień, więc nie robią praktycznie żadnego przygotowanka. I watched over him for 10 years, ever since he was a little boy. Every time he grew bigger or stronger, my heart felt like it would burst with joy, uncertainty, loneliness, and gratitude. I wasn't the best mentor, sister, or even friend. I've dreamed of a future where Percival could live happily like the humans in proper human history so many times though. Znaczy, stara ekipa wcale nie była dużo lepsza, po prostu Nawet nie mam pojęcia, jak to się nazywa oficjalnie. Taki problem, że zauważamy problemy dopiero wtedy, kiedy odchodzi nam sentyment. Kiedy odchodzi sentyment, zaczynamy zauważać, że to nie jest w sumie najlepsza rzecz na świecie. I've dreamed of a future where Percival could live happily, like the humans in proper human history so many times though. But not only did he decline High Queen Morgan's invitation, he went and formed that silly Round Table army. I don't know how he turned out to be such a delinquent. I certainly didn't raise him that way. Dokładnie, wszyscy oglądali TV gry dla Lorda Reona. Tak było. If you are really worried about Percival, you could still fight beside him. I can't do that. I have to be a fairy knight, that's why I obey High Queen Morgan. Whether the Child of Prophecy's cause is just or not doesn't matter. I made a deal with Her Majesty. I had my reasons and I'm going to honor the deal. Alright, this should be far enough. Besides, it's time I returned to Camelot. I will see you later, on the battlefield, as enemies. You are really going to fight Percival? He chose this path for himself, I have to respect that. But don't tell him you talked to me. It will only be painful for him. Która to jest sekcja? Bo jeżeli gra wymaga, żebyśmy mieli kastorię w teamie, to nie wolno nam przynieść drugiej kastorii. No to chyba było już wcześniej, przed Londynem. Bye. Good luck in the battle at Camelot. Mirror, you motherfucker. Welp, there she goes. She left as quickly as she came, just like the last time. Mirror, does that mean she... It's okay, it's all in the past now, I'm not upset. Everyone in the Mirror clan can see the future, we all know when we are going to die, and it's hard to tell present from future. We feel like we are dead from the moment we are born. Mood. So we have no regrets, no desire for revenge or anything like that. Dying just hurt, that's all. I do feel bad for Ainsel though. She was our leader, our princess, so she was always worried about the whole clan's future. She put so much pressure on herself, always worried about how to find a way for us all to survive. She put all that on herself. She kept apologizing to the whole clan right up to the moment we all died. The truth is, she is the one who was supposed to become a Night Call. But I didn't want her to keep having to apologize to us even after we all died, so I volunteered to be the messenger instead. Messenger? So you have a message for the Child of Prophecy? Yep. There's no bell of pilgrimage in this city, only the clan heads have those. And since Ainsel was destroyed along with her, I'm afraid you will have to find a replacement somewhere else. Also, this is kind of hard to say, but... The last thing Ainsel had to say was, "The Child of Prophecy will come here twice. The first time will be to live, the second time will be to die." No, skoro to jest przejście do Avalonu. I see. Thank you, Mirror. I will remember that, I promise. Take care of yourself, okay? Heh, I'm glad you turned out to be such a kind child of prophecy. Make sure you don't hold anything back or second guess yourself. Just go out there and see Britain, save the rest of us fairies. Bóg z tobą, ty niemożliwy skurwysynu. Oh boy, she here. Albo nie. Wow. I can't believe this. How could she have crushed my heart through the six-tailed clone I sent out? What a disaster. All that work I did to raise one of my tails, gone just like that. The plan was to send one of my 9 lost tails to each Lostbelt, so they could all learn and gain unique experiences. Kojanskaja 9 confirmed. Możemy dostawać do usranej śmierci 9 klonów Kojanskai. Każdy z innym kostiumem. And once all 9 tails had matured, I was going to become a beast that would have easily surpassed that smarmy fox maiden. But now the whole thing's ruined. Oh well, guess I will just have to give up that, then. Really, now that I think about it, I couldn't have actually grown all 9 tails anyway, since there are only 7 Lostbelts. Oh. Alright, let's try to look at the bright side of this. Do I cut my losses and move on, or do I stay put? Albion's body was just a pile of bones, and since it doesn't have any fur, there's no way for me to control it. And Lady Melusine is no longer a beast, but a fairy akin to a heroic spirit. It's too late for me to acquire her either. It'd be a pretty big loss if I pulled out of Britain now, but I don't see much reason to stay at this point. Well, at least I found some good reference material for the private casino resort and private primate zoo I plan to build one day. I do feel bad about leaving Lady Muriel in the lurch, but... Leaving so soon? So you are every bit as heartless as you seem. Oh my, look what the moth dragged in. Well, if it isn't the so-called Fairy King who asked me to wipe out Woodwoods's reinforcements without Lord Marcisław finding out, in exchange for telling me where I could find Albion. Znaczy w sumie to był dobry deal, bo i tak gówno z tego Albiona dostała. Of course, you didn't say at the time that the information you were peddling was worthless. You knew Albion was no good to me when you made that deal, didn't you? Of course I did. Why would I go out of my way to help one of Caldia's enemies? The boy. Besides, I only told you where you could find Albion's grave. You getting what you want from it was never part of the deal. Now, would you cut the sickening slander before I get forcibly reacquainted with my breakfast? Oh, very well. It may have been no more than a rotten corpse, but it was still the last pure-blooded dragon. Even if I couldn't make it my kin, I was still able to extract some valuable information from its bone structure. It should at least provide a good base structure for the Grand Tamamo Shrine, the AAA, Advanced Avenging Armament, currently under construction at NFF Services Headquarters. Now then, if you will excuse me, Prince Devious, I must be going. I do hope you enjoy playing Guide to Calde. You're looking for a weapon that can destroy the world, right? I really didn't want to tell you this, but right now we need all the help we can get, even from a beast. I have an idea of where you can find an even stronger product that's right up your alley. Oberon! So if I were you, I wouldn't cut my losses in Britain just yet. Się zastanawiałem, kiedy będzie kolejny fragment, skoro tyle nam czasu zostało. Lecimy! Fragment 9. Orkney, end of Fey Era 400 after the fall of Londinium. Totorot, where did Aisk go? She went to check on the World Tree, I mean the Tree of Emptiness. She said she is going to wither it until it dies. Then she will end the Fey Era and create a new land. Czekaj, aż se wejdę. A, dobra. Banshee jest irlandzką wersją legendy i to jest odrobinę inna, ale bardzo podobna wymowa. Czyli nieważne. I see. I wish there was something I could do for her, but there isn't. It's all gone, all of it. Everything we all worked for, destroyed, just like that for no reason at all. I guess there really isn't any way left to save Britain. It doesn't feel fair that I'm the only one who gets to survive, that I get to stay behind in the future. Masz. You've got that all wrong, Mash. You are not staying behind in the future. You are going back home to it. Remember, you never belonged to the Fey era in the first place. So it's good that you are going back. Even Aisk said this would wrap everything up nice and neat. That didn't cheer you up? Fine, if you are that worried about it, I will make you a special promise. A promise that will prove you coming here to this era wasn't a mistake. A special promise? That's right, you know, I used to be a real jerk before I lost to Aisk. I was violent and selfish, and everyone else in the Wing clan hated me. A, Habenian jest z Wing klanu. But then I joined Aisk and went around Britain beating up bad guys with her. It was a lot of fun and all, but it also always felt kind of empty, like there was a big hole in my heart. I used to wonder what it was I really wanted to do, what I should do, and what would bring me real joy. But then you came along and filled that hole for me, Mash. Remember when you told me about Habetrot the fairy from Scotland? I don't know which me is right, this Lostbelt me or the me from proper human history, but I don't care. The other me you described sounds so happy, I've decided that's who I wanna be. You gave me a dream worth living for, Mash. And I don't mean the dream of becoming Habetrot from proper human history. No, my dream is to see you in a bridal gown, getting happily married. Now that you've given me that dream, I'm gonna hold on to it forever. I'm always gonna be grateful you came here. So you just wait here, right? So you just wait right here, and don't worry about a thing. While you are sleeping, I'm gonna become a great tailor and see off at least 100 brides. That way, maybe my own little wish will come true too. I mean, if I can make 100 brides happy, that will definitely help me become a real grown-up. Right, that's right. Knowing you, Totorot, I'm sure you will become the best seamstress in the world. Right? So there's the promise. It's okay if you forget it as long as you keep waiting here. The next time we meet, I'm gonna be able to make a wonderful dress that will look absolutely smashing on you. And so, Mash, the first fairy knight entered her slumber. It would be wrong for a human girl named Mash to exist in the Fey era, you see. So by insisting that the figure in this coffin was actually the first fairy knight, there wouldn't be a paradox in the era of the High Queen that was to come. Great thinking, Aisk. You know, Aisk, I still don't get why you are helping Mash. I'm not too smart, but even I can tell you won't gain anything from it. She has a special spirit origin. Having someone like her working for me will be useful in the future. Gotcha. Well, I don't know much about that kind of thing, so I'm not gonna ask anything more. You're about to kill the Tree of Emptiness, right? And a whole lot of fairies are gonna die, right? Then our journey together is over. I'm gonna go back to the south and work on my fairy training, and this time I will do it for me. See you later, Aisk. It's been fun. I see. Goodbye, Totorot. Training for your own sake is all well and good, but don't forget what I taught you either, okay? My diary, page 14,800. It's been 400 years since that day. I'm now known far and wide as the first-class seamstress. I've even seen more than 100 brides off, but my wish hasn't come true. Of course it hasn't. After all, I still haven't been able to make a dress for my first bride, the one I care about more than any other. My legs don't work so well lately, my eyesight is fading, and I can barely hold this pen. Meanwhile, Britain hasn't changed one bit. Ever since Ask quit being its savior, war between the clans has resumed worse than ever. Now it's year 20,000, the year of the Great Calamity that occurs once every 1,000 years. Ask said this is when Britain is supposed to come to an end, but I know that it won't. Mash told me it still exists in the future. Okay, nobody should find me in here. I sat down in the corner of a northern cave. As soon as I did, my eyes stopped working, my mouth stopped moving, and my mind started to go blank. Huh? I must have been even more tired than I thought. Let's see, 2019, Sheffield's Castle Town. Sprinkle the petrification powder Grimmer made for me on my head. I hear the world breaking apart far off in the distance. I hear the screams of fairies as they perish. It's the winter storm ringing the bell of revenge. Ask's return from Orkney, the world's end. The last war. There's no more Uther, no more Round Table, no more Hector, no more Grimr. It's just her, the war, and the war of winter. Sorry I couldn't be all out there with you, Ask, but fighting just takes too much out of me. This is the end of the Fey era, the moment that makes our entire pilgrimage meaningless. The time a savior vanishes from history and disappears from everyone's memory. Kurczę, przykro. Coast of the End. Tu przenieśli Orkney. Orkney powinno być gdzieś tu. Wait for it. Wait for it. No. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, siedem, osiem... A, tylko 8. Można zacząć. Section 19. Orkney. About time we made it. So this is the northmost point in Britain, huh? Kurde, no serio, jakby tutaj był Uther. Moglibyśmy dojść, on mógłby być trochę starszy, więc mógłby trochę wolniej iść. Mógłby się zdyszeć w tym momencie i Artoria mogłaby mu powiedzieć: Glad you could make it, Uther. Watch your tongue with me, girl. You may be my daughter, but I'm still your superior as a real knight. Ale muza tutaj leci. This entire Welsh forest must be purged. If this were proper human history's Britain, we'd be right around Edinburgh, I'd say. But it looks like this is about as far north as this version of Britain goes. I heard it was cold here, but I still wasn't expecting it to be this cold. It never gets anywhere near this chilly in the south. It's not as bad as Russia, but it's still freezing. Just look at all this snow. Snow? Those are the tears of the Rain Clan. They are all that remain of the Rain Clan after it was wiped out in the Fey Era 4000. They are a song of grief and admonition to the other clans and an apology meant for the Fairies of Paradise. Fairy of Paradise. Are you sure Mash is here in Orkney? I'm sure. Sorry, I didn't say anything sooner. Hang in there. It won't be much longer now. An apology meant for the Fairy of Paradise? Come to think of it, why did the Rain Clan die out? Was it Morse? Northern Fairies? Nope, the Wind, Air, Fang and Wing clans all joined forces to wipe them out in one night. Nazwali to nocą deszczową, bo zrobili to na modłę Nocy Kryształowej. An alliance between 4 clans that would definitely be enough to wipe out a single clan. But I thought the clans all hated each other until Morgan unified all of Britain. So how and why would that many disparate clans form an alliance like that? Good question. It's hard to imagine that happening unless they all hated the Rain Clan more. A strong common enemy and all that. Were the other clans just that afraid of the Rain Clan? Were they just that powerful? Not at all. The Rain Clan was a quiet, peaceful clan, just like the Mirror Clan. The whole reason they took up resistance here in the north was out of a desire not to fight the clans in the south. Then why? Because they helped the Fairy of Paradise. They took pity on her when she washed up here from paradise and raised her as their princess, like she was one of their own. The other clans, well, they didn't like that at all. They were all, no way we are letting her go on her pilgrimage, all those traitors need to die for this. Traitors? Sorry, no more chit-chat for now. We've gotten someone here to welcome us to Orkney. Piesł. Jaki śmieszny. A daj pogłaskać. A, kurwa, gryzie. Oh wow, what a beautiful wolf, and its fur looks so warm. Yeah, there's almost something godly about it. Wait, it actually has real divinity. But there's no gods in Britain. Does that mean there's a divine spirit somewhere nearby? Jakieś bucy? Taki dobry pumperek chociaż? It's heading off that way. Do you think it wants us to follow it? Kurde, spędzi nos. Yep, there's a little boat up ahead I used myself a long time ago. We can take it up to Orkney. Don't worry, it's only 30-minute ride, and once we get there, my adventure will be over. Mówi to zupełnie jakby umierała. A, czyli jednak to jest na wyspach strasznie bliskich. Prawdziwe Orkney znajduje się co najmniej tutaj, na Kirkwallu. A, jeszcze dalej, bo to nawet nie jest koniec Szkocji. Jest gdzieś początek Szkocji. Caster i Ryder. Cool. Czego ja potrzebuję? Aruta Ego. Colombo? Czy ja w ogóle mam Colombo? Chyba mam. Mam. O dziwo. Weź Colombo, ale Geronimo zostaw. To jak ten komiks z psem. Rzuć piłkę, ale nie bierz. Tylko rzuć. It looks like the White Wolves headed toward the campfire? Yeah, and there's another wolf already there, along with... Hey, there you are, Frecky. Want some of this fish, Muninkow? Munin. That's a servant, Marcisław. I fucking see. This mean there's been another proper human history servant besides Oberon here? No, wait. I recognize that robe. Huh? Hey Marcisław, about time you got here. I was beginning to think you'd never show up. Chuchulin. Chuchulin? What there, mind not calling me that? It really drags the Spirit Origins output down. Around here, I've gone by Grimr for a long time now, don't forget it. Grimr? Come to think of it, I do remember there being an old fairy by that name in Europe, but... Wasn't that also another name for the Norse Allfather? No to ciekawe, bo w nordyckiej mitologii istnieje Grimnir. Który jest jeszcze innym bogiem. What, you didn't tell Em about me, Habetrot? Not even after I bailed you out in Sheffield? Yikes, there wasn't so much happening back then that I didn't realize at the time, but you've really gotten old, Grimr. What are you talking about? I'm as young as I ever was. I don't know what my predecessor was like, but I'm the second generation. Sorry to disappoint. Man, I had no idea time could be so brutal. Ace could drop dead in shock if she saw you now. Habetrot rzuca tyloma tekstami, których nikt nie stwierdza, że warto by zakwestionować. Can you tell me what the hell's going on here? Sure, I'd be glad to fill you in. Not like this is our first time meeting, is it? At first, I've got to see if the child of prophecy there is the real deal or not. Damn, this guy means business. Is it alright if we fight back, Marcisław? I think so. Got it. It seems this man's much less nice than your usual acquaintances, Marcisław. I don't know why, but something about this guy really rubs me the wrong way. Come on, let's get him. To pewnie przez fryzorę. Bo fryzurę to on ma zajebistą. Jak ten. Rutkowski.
大丈夫。落ち着いて。普段通りに。
When HP reaches 0, increase Grim's the Sage charge to max.
やだな。
うめえじゃねえか。
Shit.
戦いですか。
いつか冷静。はは、たどり着いたぜ。信念と夢の果て、お宝だらけの新天地によ。野郎ども、怒りを下ろせ。
Kto był na banerze Morgan?
Santa Maria! Dora Blanca!
A nie ten cudak. Ku, to ja mam wymaksowanego. Let me kill him!
やることは変わらねえよ。妖精が何だってんだ。
今のうちに準備を。
Muramasa be like, let me kill him, Artoria!
さあ、キルズ、あのあたりか。うわあ！触れてやるよ。小さいくじやる。てめえとは反りが合わねえよ。本気の俺は手強いぜ。さてここからだ。
Ile on tam ciosów ma? Shit. 3.
やります。
それくれよ。
ここでまっすぐ。
Def? Nie zauważyłem, co on tam sobie odpalił. Ła.
巨人炎の檻となるウィッターマン。クソ嵐が沈没だと。
眠いな。
Kurwa.
この瞬間手を重ねましょう。参りますね。
隙だらけだぜ。
ごめんなさい。
おかえり願おうか。本気の俺は手強いぜ。悪いね。僕でも武器は持ってるのさ。
A, zmarnowałem.
わかり。
ほいよ。
参りま。わかりました。
そら。
よしです。よしです。ごめんなさい。
Strzelam, że jak klatura minie, to on sobie ustawi tu na kogoś innego. O, zabawne. Teraz mogę mu jebnąć, tak? To mu jebnę. Jebnę. Jebnę.
おいしい相手かい。おかえり願おう。あっちこっち。お兄さん参る。ほい一丁上がり。おっと。
お手を拝借ばかり。お手を拝借。ごめんなさい。よしです。よしです。ドレスが汚れませんように。
Hej! Ani jeden zawszony kundel nie uderzył w Robin Hooda w tej turze. Urwał.
鬼スマイルほい一丁上がり
この瞬間手を重ねましょう。この瞬間手を重ねましょう。
Szlak, nie tak to miałem zrobić.
アンドゥトロー、お手を拝借参りますね。
Maja Sakamoto próbująca francuskiego jest zawsze zabawna.
お手を分かりました。お手を拝借。よしです。ドレスが汚れませんように。
Uf, cały czas ma na sobie truciznę, to bardzo dobrze.
悪いね。オフでも武器は持ってるのさ。リゾートに来てまでフォーグとはね。好きだ。おいよ。弔いの木よ、牙を研げ。一番。こっちこっち。鬼スマイルほい一丁上がり。
参りますね。参りますね。ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。よしです。ドレスが汚れませんよ
うに。ほいよほいよ。おかえり寝顔。あっちこっち。鬼スマイルほい一丁上がり。
Świetna walka, nie ma co. Ja pierdolę.
お手を参りますね。
好きだらけだぜ。
よしです。
そら。
アンドゥトロー。
ほいよ。
お手を拝借。我が旗よ、我が同胞を守りたまえ。弓の指定エテルネル。
そら。
ごめんなさい。この瞬間手を重ねましょう。
スパッとハートを射抜きますか。パンイチでもやりますよ俺は。弔いの木よ、牙を研げ。
Bo trochę za rzadko używam luministe Eternal.
一番。
ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。
おいおい、好きだらけだぜ。そら、こっちこっち。鬼スマイルほい一丁上がり。おっと。
お手を拝借。 ごめんなさい。ドレスが汚れませんように。
Pierdolę.
甘いお手を拝借。主よ、恋願います。私に大切な人たちを守る力を。リュミノジテエテルネル。よしです。ごめんなさい。ドレスが汚れませんように。
A. Okej, autor meluzyny to Mogitani Koichi, czyli to jest designer Xenosagi. Xenosagi, Xenoblade Chronicles X i chyba przy tych Xenoblade'ach nie robił. Tych ostatnich. So, the Child of Prophecy likes to gang up on heroic spirits she's never met before, huh? Alright, I see how it is. I have nothing to say to a kid who can't even be civil. Go on, get out of here. But you were the one who said to bring it on. Isn't that right, Marcisław? Hell, you were the one who said we should fight him. I don't remember saying anything like that. Huh? Seriously? Now you are starting to sound like Oberon. Yep, that's Grimr alright. He might be all grown up now, but he's still mean as ever. Alright, Grimr, tell us what's going on here. How long have you been back in Britain? How long have you been back? That sounds like... Cool, I mean Grimr, this wouldn't happen to be your second time being summoned here, would it? If so, would the first time be long ago back in the Fey era and the second time be, well, now? Oh, we've got a clever one here, huh? Guess you'd have to be, since you already saved humanity once. Anyway, I think that's enough joking for now. Now that I've crossed paths with you, I can tell for sure that you're the Child of Prophecy, the Fairy of Paradise. Allow me to introduce myself again. I'm Grimr, the Sage. Leci muzyka z Fuyuki. I'm Grimr the Sage. My true name is Kuchulin. I'm a heroic spirit from proper human history. 6,000 years ago I was summoned here. Wdech, wydech, żeby się nie wkurwić. 6,000 years ago I was summoned here as the divine spirit of Odin. This time around I've been standing guard here day and night for the last year on Odin's behalf. Swoją drogą, to ilu tych Gandalfów tutaj mają zamiar zrobić? A pieprznij sobie jeszcze jedną szczałeczkę. Mamy już tylko 5 sekcji. 19, 20, 21, 22 i 24. Fragmentów już nie powinno być więcej, bo skończyły się retrosy. A divine spirit, so then is this one of those god beings you told me about, Marcisław? But he's so affable, he's not the least bit majestic. That's about the reaction I was going for. You are a lot more amiable than I expected. Yeah, right, I'm not at all majestic. I might be here as Odin's proxy, but I'm still just another heroic spirit like that old man over there. So how about you just call me Grimr, you know, like a friendly older brother sort? Ha, older brother, if you are here as a divine spirit's proxy, then you are just as much of an old man on the inside as I am. No way, I'm young in mind and in body. Know why? 'Cause I bit it before I got old. I wonder why those two get along so poorly. Read the fucking VN. I bet a wolf fate thing. But never mind that, I've got some explaining to do first, don't I? Unfortunately, my role here is more than a little complicated. So I think I will start by clearing that stuff up. Listen up, Marcisław, you too, child of prophecy. First up, my relation to Chaldea. I am the same heroic spirit you formed a contract with in Fuyuki. Yeah, I did get reset when I went back to the Throne of Heroes. But I retained my records of you, Olga Marie, and King Arthur, who's still holding their ground here. I see, you are talking about Singularity F, or Singularity X as Chaldeans defined it. The one that took place in Fuyuki in 2004. I've seen the data on that incident too, and I'm pretty sure any servant that's been dismissed would never bring any records back with them. To nie jest prawda? You can thank my divine spirit for stepping in on that. Hell, in my case, you could even call it the counterforce. The god who gave me this authority explicitly said he wanted me to watch out for you guys from Chaldea. He's also the god of magecraft and wisdom. See, and apparently he looked into the future. And so we needed to do something here before things got real bad. By here he meant Fuyuki and Britain, and by do something he meant... Well, it seems to come down to, in a word, recovery. See, this god's had his eye on this Lostbelt for a hell of a long time. A multidimensional eye specifically. He first summoned me here 6,000 years ago to aid the Fairy of Paradise. That was the first Grimr the Sage. He was a pseudo-servant possessing a local fairy's body. I remember, he was about 14 years old and he had a sword instead of a staff. Co? Wiem, kto to był. To był Setanta. Did he now? Well, ain't that something. What kinda kid was he? He was a real brat, always getting into trouble. Ace leaned on him a lot though. So you and I used to be battle buddies. That's good to hear. Yep, after we parted ways with Ace, the two of us talked a lot. Znaczy no, oni go teasują od już dawna, bo to przecież Setanta był już od pewnie roku na arcade'ach. A może nie. You made that magic powder for me and came up with a plan, then disappeared during the Great Calamity, right? Yep, the previous Grimmer disappeared either because Ace revoked his contract or because she killed the Tree of Emptiness. But before he disappeared, Odin left some insurance in the form of a countermeasure to be implemented if this Lostbelt swapped places with reality. He knew that once humanity's everybody dies ending, the incineration of humanity had been resolved, there'd be no avoiding the bad ending, the reconstruction of humanity. All the necessary conditions were in place. So he figured the least he could do was handle the issue here to take some of the load of Chaldea. And I'm the pseudo-servant he chose to help resolve that. In the first phase, he conferred this authority upon me, making me a caster. Then I showed up at Point X, Fuyuki, and formed a bond with Chaldea. After that, he sent me here to Britain, where humanity would be in real dire straits if someone didn't step in. Though I had no idea about Grimr the Sage before I got here. The only thing I inherited was my duty as a divine spirit of proper human history. I didn't know the first thing about this place. I was in the same boat as Marcisław in that regard. So after I was summoned here, I spent a year investigating what had happened in the era of the High Queen. I learned about the calamities, the clans, Morgan, the Fairy Knights, the transition from the Fey era to the era of the High Queen, and once I saw that in the bell tower here, I put most of the pieces together. I knew then that my job was to wait for you guys here. To ensure that the pilgrimage succeeded, and to get the Fairy of Paradise back to Paradise. So, what does that mean exactly? Don't overthink it, it's just like Fuyuki. From here on, I'm gonna accompany you on your journey, I will act as one of your servants and all that. In exchange, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to fulfill Einsel's prophecy, the promise Ace couldn't keep. I guess Kid Me was too soft to get the job done, but that's the job Grimr the Sage is here to do. To się nie kończy. It's an awfully roundabout way of summoning a servant to help, but I'm glad to have you on board, Grimr the Sage. First off, we'd love to hear what you know about the Fey era and the era of the High Queen, but before that... You don't gotta tell me, you are here looking for the shield girl, right? You are more worried about your trusted partner's safety than about fixing humanity. I know it's not very sagely, but personally, I couldn't agree more with that stance. Besides, I'm sure she knows way more about the Fey era than I do, so you may as well hear it from her instead. O nie, znowu jest opcja do wybrania.
Are you sure about that?
Hey, our goals are basically the same. All you gotta do is help me with mine. So you know where Mash is, then does that mean? Yep, she is by the Bell of Pilgrimage. See that broken down castle over there? The bell towers right. Well, that makes it simple. Come on, Marcisław, let's go get her. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. We got some real nasty things to get past between here and there. They look like the kinda ghosts you'd see wandering around in foggy woods, but they are all way tougher than you'd think. We've still gotta get past them, of course, but don't go thinking they are weak just cause they are ghosts. In fact, if things go wrong, you might find those creatures much harder to fight than any other enemy you've faced so far. Co? Ej, teraz sobie patrzę na screeny z Xenoblade Chronicles. Potrzebuję drugie zdjęcie. Mam. Art teamem był Takeuchi i Takeuchi powiedział yes! No, to jest screen z Xenoblade Chronicles X. Co jest tutaj ważne? To coś stojące po lewej stronie. Widać, że to jest ten sam autor, co nie? Okej, czyli kolejnych zostaje nam 5 strzałek w Orkney. Potem jeszcze będą 4 sekcje. Nie wydaje mi się, żeby były jakiekolwiek jeszcze intersekcje i to będzie koniec Lostbeltu. Więc jeżeli dobrze pójdzie, to skończymy równo dzień przed anniversary. Więc po tym jak skończymy ten chapter, będzie anniversary i to będzie kolejny dzień, czyli będzie Będzie stream po streamie. Krótszy, bo będziemy tylko samonować i się bawić. Dobra. No idealnie na GSSR-kę, Kojanskaje, darmowego tiketa SSR-kowego i tak dalej. No, to widzimy się jutro w Orkney. Znaczy w Dark Soulsach. Na razie.